Okay, thanks for coming back out to uh, Credible Christianity with Pastor Rock. I'm so excited and so happy about what we have been studying. We've been studying on the atonement, studying on the atonement. I think we did about three, four uh, very miniature sized lessons on the atonement. And I'm just excited, and I hope that you've been learning something about the atonement, what it is, so on and so forth. So let's dig right into it. Again, thank you for coming out because you could have been doing something else, but you decided to come out here and be a part of this Bible lesson. It's only like 3 to 5 minutes long, so let's kind of dig into the word and see what it is. Isaiah chapter 53, again, we still talking about the atonement, okay? I want to make sure you get a good grasp on what the atonement is from different definitions and word studies and biblical understanding, so on and so on. Okay, so the atonement, Isaiah 53. Okay, verse that's in the Old Testament if you're not familiar. Okay, Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3 to 5 says, "He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief, and we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not." This he is a prophetic word for, not just he, this verse is prophetically talking about, I believe, in the New Testament authors refer to as Jesus. Okay, so it says, "He was despised, but we didn't esteem him. Surely he has borne our grief and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded." Y'all see that? Jesus was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was on him. And with his stripes we were healed. In this lesson of atonement, one of the things I really want to point out to it is substitute. It says he was bruised, he was wounded, he took our griefs. In other words, he was our substitute under the atonement, or what the atonement. We know that with the atonement, he sacrificed his life, he gave his life up. Okay, in doing that, he became our substitute. We all know what a substitute is. The word substitute means to stand in the place of another. To stand in the place of another. It's like a substitute teacher. The substitute teacher stands in the place of the original teacher. If she's absent or he's absent, so what they do, they get a sub, someone to stand in that teacher's place for that day. Jesus was our substitute. We just read that in Isaiah 53. It says he bore our griefs. He carried our sorrows. It said he was smitten, he was stricken. He was wounded for us, for our transgressions. Not his transgressions. He did nothing wrong. Verse 5 says he was wounded for our transgressions. The word transgression means to go against the law, to go against God's rule, to go against God's law. And anytime in the Old Testament, when the people went against God's law, judgment would hit at any time. And so here in the New Testament, in the New Testament in Acts 8, you see how Philip is teaching the eunuch about who Jesus is in the book of Acts chapter 8. And he said, that Ethiopian eunuch was reading where? Isaiah 53. And Philip said, who you are reading about, I'm paraphrasing, is Jesus. He took on our sins. He stood in a place for us. We were the guilty ones. You say, well, how am I guilty? I did nothing. Just by the mere fact that you and I come from the first man and the first woman, Adam and Eve. They sinned. We took on their nature. We took on the sinful nature. When sin came into the world, it didn't just came into the world with Adam and Eve, but it trickled down to every human being, all humanity, all the earth. And to, as I said in another video, that in any time God's people were wicked and they transgressed and went against his laws, after he consistently commanded them not to disobey, judgment can hit. Judgment can come on them. So Jesus came in a place and he said, I'm going to give my life. I'm going to sacrifice my life for them. I'm going to sacrifice my life for the world. So he became our substitute. He was wounded for our wrongdoing, for our transgressions. Not only was he our substitute, but we also see that he also represents us too. To represent means to speak for another. That's a powerful thing. For someone to stand in the gap for you when you are the guilty party. See, why would I not become a Christian? It's credible. This man died for me. He gave his life up for me. I'm the one jacked up. I'm the one wrong. But he took on my punishment. What was supposed to be given to me, he took it. What was supposed to be given to you, because you were the guilty party, I was the guilty party, but Jesus bore it all. He was wounded for our transgressions, which means to go against the law. We went against the law and nature of God. Well, God bless you. I hope this has been a blessing to you. I hope you learned something from it. And we'll come back again and see what the Word of God says about the atonement. God bless you.